Good welcome.
Hey,
good evening and welcome to the Richie and Rogue Unfiltered. I wanted to say it just went a bit like funny, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Should we do that again?
Yeah, start again.
Start again.
Yeah.
Let's warm up. It's been a long day, but it's been an exciting day. Let's go from the beginning. Are we ready?
Yeah.
I am ready.
Have you rehearsed all this?
I tried it once or twice.
You're on, love.
So
You're on.
You're on. Okay,
Yeah.
are we ready? Good evening and welcome to Richie and Rogue Unfiltered.
You shouting?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Tonight's show is a mixture of highlights and this week's news. So yesterday was the uprising of Christian patriots speaking out and gathering together for a peaceful and powerful Christmas carol concert with the ultimate Tommy Robinson, Bishop Kai, and what a speech that was.
The ultimate Tommy Robinson. Oh, God.
It's just great.
He is, yeah.
Ricky Doolan, Richard Inman, and many, many more amazing people collectively holding the name of Jesus in the forefront and declaring over this nation that Christ needs to be back in our Christmas. So let's kickstart with the recap of yesterday's carol service, and what an incredible sight. Blue skies and a glorious day covering the masses of patriots coming together to celebrate Jesus's birth and open their vocal cords together despite it being cold. But we salute you for going and doing it. It was brimming full of beautiful people proclaiming their truths. Richie and I, we streamed it, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
We sat in a little chapel and we actually did a YouTube stream and it went beautifully. Actually, we managed to hit a record number of viewers. So thank you for all of you who have recently subscribed or to those who have joined today for the first time.
Yes, indeed.
You are welcome.
Welcome to the show tonight. Thank you to all of our subscribers, those who've recently joined us here on the Richie and Rogue show, and to those of you who've joined us for the first time tonight watching us on X. And by the way, we're now broadcasting on something called Twitch.
What is this?
I ain't got a clue what it is, love, to be honest with you, but it's a gaming kind of a program, isn't it? And I think it was your son who recommended that we did it, so I thought, let's just do it and see what happens.
So Twitch, here we are.
So if you're watching on Twitch, welcome, and we're on X at Land Sinners. All the stuff's coming up on screen in a few moments. We're going to go to our comments as we do first. We'd like to welcome all of our wonderful, wonderful friends, because that's what you are. You're part of one big family. Then we're going to talk about
family.
Family is what I said. Family
and friends.
I said family.
Yeah, you said friends first. It is family and friends. And today, actually...
Does it make a difference?
No, it does, yeah. Because
really?
I think family's first.
Okay.
Family, because do you know what the beautiful thing is, right?
Yeah. Can you stop putting your hands in front of the camera? I've told you about this. This is part of us learning. You know, we're doing this show like every week now, right? We got to learn to get better.
to do this.
And your monologue was brilliant, but you did trip over yourself. To be honest, before we went on air, she was panicking. You did a good job, love.
No, I didn't. I fell over it 3 times. I'm tired, right? We've had a really long day. And I was about to tell you about this, right?
Yeah.
So today...
I got a leaflet from the doctors on menopause today.
Was
it Friday? Was it Friday?
Yes, you did. But do you know what he did today, right? We were in a beautiful church and we made some really incredible friends
We
there.
did, yeah.
Some beautiful, beautiful people. And I hope they're watching tonight.
Yeah, indeed.
But can I just say that this absolute knobhead literally dumped me in the middle and asked for everybody to pray for my menopause. So I'm not like joking here. He literally got a chair, put me in the middle, and there was this really beautiful prayer time. And he just went, do you know what? Pray for her menopause.
Yeah, then
you
need prayer. I left you at the cross stop. We went to Falder Brennan, which is a Christian retreat we went to for a few days, about 2 nights from it. And this was the chapel that we went to. It was fantastic. We just had a time of just actually off social media, not doing anything, just chilling and relaxing. And it was wonderful, wasn't it, Rob?
Do you know, I absolutely love Falder Brennan. It's just this really kind of homely, welcoming retreat where you can just go and have that complete solace and that time with God. And, you know, we all need to have time for ourselves.
Yeah.
we need to have time, you know, to rest and recoup. And it is so important that we do that.
Yeah, and you did the cooking as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah, thanks.
Really enjoyed that. Yeah, but welcome everybody anyway. We're also on Facebook. You can find us on all the usual platforms. All the stuff's coming up on the screen now as well. And more importantly as well, we're excited to announce we have a website, Rogue, don't we?
We do.
We do.
It is www.richieandrogue.com.
Did you say come or com then?
I said com, you weirdo.
I was going to say, yeah, it was a bit weird, wasn't it?
No.
Anyway, yeah, you can follow all of us on there. If you want to support the channel, go there. There's a donate button as well. We'd really appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. And yesterday, we wanted to cover the carol service because many of you will be aware that there was a huge event happening in London, outside 10 Downing Street and Whitehall. And as Rogue has mentioned at the top of the show, we streamed, I think it was a 4-hour live stream we did yesterday.
It was one of the longest lives we have ever done.
Yeah, it was good. It was
4 hours, but you know, like I said, we were in a chapel in Hereford, and it was just this really kind of intimate like affair. We had a lovely guy who's called Mark, and he actually allowed us to stay in the church to do our live, and it was phenomenal. It was just really lovely to actually be part of it. And yeah, I think I was going to say Shoab sort of was supposed to be helping us out a little bit, and his phone died. So that wasn't that great, was it?
No, it wasn't. But it was great because we were able to interact with so many people who were watching, over 1,000 people watching the stream at one given time. So that was fantastic to have that many. Because considering we're a brand new show here, I mean, we're learning on the move.
We're brand new. We started in March.
Yeah.
We kind of developed a little bit on certain platforms, and we've not really done YouTube until a month ago. So we've been sort of going, but then paused for a bit because Advanced UK became the primary sort of focus.
It did indeed.
And then now we're doing this because we just want to actually have something where we can have an outlet too.
Absolutely. And before we come on the show tonight, anyway, what have you been doing this week anyway? I always forget to ask you. We go straight into the show. What's been happening this week? What have you been up to?
Well, you just told them I went to Felderbrennan. You left me at the cross. And you've been to the flipping doctors trying to get me menopause leaflets. Thanks for that.
Yeah, well,
wow.
Any man watching, if your wife is going through, and we're not married, of course, this is my best friend for over 31 years. In fact, I'm going to show you a clip actually.
Oh my gosh, you need to see this.
Watch this clip now. This is, where is it? Let me just find it. Rogue, there it is. Watch this.
So this, you boys, you know, got to clean the floors. Takes me back, you know, a few years ago when I was in Swansea, at the Majesty's Hotel, you know the ones, isn't it? That's right. I'm back on it again, look. Hey, here we go, Richie.
Some things never change, do they?
No, I still
Some
shake
things never
my
change.
head.
I know, yeah.
I still shake.
I look so different there, don't I?
I was going to say you look different, and I look different.
I know.
I was really unhappy there.
Were you?
I was.
What, with my cleaning skills? Or?
Yeah. No, I was just not in a good way, actually.
No.
And to be fair, having you there was part of the reason, is because I wasn't in a good way, and you came to my rescue. You did. Well, you did. I mean, that cleaning though, I had to do it after you did it because you left a right.
It's only because she offered me a bottle of Moet Chandon. Otherwise, I wouldn't have showed up. But anyway, yeah, that's friendship for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh? Do you remember the summers we used to have in the back garden? We used to go shooting guns and sunbathing and drinking Pims and all kinds of weird and wonderful
We've
things.
had many
we could tell some stories, but it's not for this because, of course, it's before 9 o'clock, isn't it? So anyway, before the French show. Watershed, isn't it? Watershed.
Watershed.
Hey, everyone, thank you for joining us. We have got a full show tonight, but as we've mentioned at the top of the show, we want to discuss the carol service that took place, which, by the way, many people, especially mainstream media and the Church of England, actually called it a protest, not a carol service.
I just find that really insulting because there was, I think actually I've read that there were only 2 people that were arrested, right? But that maybe not anything to do with actually what happened. So I'm a bit like, why did they get arrested? I didn't read why. I just read that they had. So that's
what do I always say to you? Context
yeah.
and source.
The point is, no, but hang on, right? My point is, it was a Christmas carol service where everybody was coming together to enjoy each other.
Yeah.
And stand their ground together as a collective to say that Christ is King. Yes,
absolutely.
So why are the media only saying that there was? I think they said there was like 500 people there.
100 people. If it's BBC, they probably told you can get more people in a phone box because we know what mainstream media are like. Of course, anything to do when you stand up for your country and believe passionately in Christianity, then you get knocked down thinking you're all kinds of far right. The far right stuff, you know, it's getting boring. I am bored of it. I'm fed up of it. It doesn't wash anymore. It's like the race card, you know, you're racist. Why? Because I think, you know, because I believe that you should love your country and love your flag. I got the Welsh flag up behind me tonight. But people have got this kind of concept now where anything that they disagree with, they go to the, you're racist, you're fascist, you're far right, or you're far left even. And as we've said many times, one of my little sayings, we're not far right.
You're just far wrong.
You're just far wrong. That's right, bro. That's right. So yeah, the carol service, and we had friends there. As Rogue mentioned at the start of the show, we had Ricky Doolan, who was leading the songs and the carols there, did a fantastic job. And the lady that was singing there, part of his choir, gospel choir, was absolutely awesome. It was incredible. Oh, by the way, we got a bit of a slight ban on YouTube because we played the live stream, and because it was a Leona Lewis number, we got a warning. Cheers, YouTube. But that was, yeah, I can say
that. I know. It's ridiculous. Like, why on earth ban us for actually doing a live stream?
One of the things, it is ridiculous. One of the things that I loved probably the most is to hear, ordinary people tell their stories. There was no razzmatazz, there weren't fireworks. It was just people getting up, sharing their personal journey of faith and how they've found Christ as their own savior and what Christmas meant to them. And it was just an amazing, amazing experience to watch. And we were able to bring it to many of you. We had people watching from Poland, from Chester, from Manchester, from all over the country who couldn't make it. And so we decided to do that in a way just to share with you. And we were interjecting with different things as well. And you interviewed Mark, which we're going to come back to. Mark is a gentleman that we and his wife.
Can I just say he really is a gentleman?
He is, yeah. He is.
When we talk about gentlemen, he is probably one of the most gentle, kind, considerate persons, because there's like many of his personalities. He's just great.
He is fantastic.
I really enjoy him.
Yeah, and we were in the cold chapel broadcasting the show, and he came in with loads of bits and pieces.
He brought us a blanket, hot water bottle.
Oh, excuse me. I nearly lost my wig again. Dear Jesus.
Where is he now? I need a hot water bottle.
I know it's cold, and it's cold in the studios tonight. I don't know what's happened. We haven't paid the electric bill. Anyway, yeah, he was tremendous when he came on and shared his personal story. And it is an incredible testimony. Watch it on our last live stream. If you go onto it, then I think it was yesterday. Go back. I think it's about 35 minutes in. If you go on there and listen to Mark's story, it's very, very powerful. How his journey of faith really strengthened when he lost him and his wife lost their son, wasn't it? I mean,
I mean, it was quite grueling to hear. You know, the very fact that he'd lost his son from meningitis, and they'd prayed for his healing, and he wasn't healed. But that did not deter them in their faith, and that actually kept them actually more rooted in their faith. Yeah. And then they went on to pray for more people and, pray for healing for people. And that was a real kind of testament of strength for me. It was like, you didn't give up. You didn't walk away from God. Your child died and you stood the test of time with God because your faith is stronger than your grief and your loss. Yeah. And I have to say, much respect.
Absolutely.
Much respect.
And Mark, if you're watching and your lovely wife Ruth tonight, thank you ever so much for your hospitality over the weekend. We really did appreciate it. And the food today was banging.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
awesome.
Because you had a beef dinner today, Rogue, didn't you?
Actually, that's a bit rude because you said that you wouldn't say anything. So you're a little snitch. So I'm actually a vegetarian and I don't obviously eat meat. But do you know what?
You know meat's good for you. Listen,
bro, move over. I'm just telling them I'm a vegetarian and I'm allowed to tell them that. Yeah. So anyway, I actually got a roast dinner and I ordered roast beef because my gripe is this. You ready?
Yeah, go on.
I just want to roast. Dudes, if you actually have a cafe and you want to help vegetarian people, just give me the roast just without the meat.
I didn't.
It's really not that hard.
I didn't mind. I had your beef, so it doesn't really bother me. It was fantastic.
You had my beef. I've got beef with you anyway.
Yeah, yes, you've always got beef with me, love. On air, off air, hot air, on air, you've always got beef with me. Let's go to some of the comments, Rogue. We're going to come to the cards, so I want to show you some clips actually from the event of some of the people that spoke there, including Tommy Robinson and others. But we're going to go to some of the comments. Good evening. Do you want to go ahead and read some of those tonight, Rogue?
Good evening, Richie and Rogue, and all here. We love Silver Surfer. They're one of our new subscribers.
Yes, yeah, welcome, Silver Surfer.
It might be a girl, might be a boy, you don't know.
You just don't know these. It's
Well, your
2025.
warrior outfit caught me off guard yesterday in your closing credits. For a moment, I thought I was seeing Xena Warrior Princess. It's a good look. Oh, thank you so much. I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah, this one here, very sad today about happening in Australia. It needs to be acknowledged.
acknowledged.
We're doing that actually towards the middle of the show. We've got a whole report on that, some stuff live from Australia on Bondi Beach, because that was tragic. We were reading and researching that earlier when we wrote.
It's horrible.
It is indeed. And we're going to come to that a little bit later. Okay.
Hello, Danuta.
Hello.
Hello, my darling. Let's see who else is here.
Ray.
Hello, Ray. Always good to have you on. And yes, Ray, we are going to talk about Bondi Beach because it's just a travesty. Evening, everybody. That is Ed. Hello, Edward. And that is great. And wow, that is a great background to you both. Looks great.
Yeah.
Good evening, babe. This is Maria. Sorry, I'm getting carried away.
So I know you do get
it was amazing. Okay, so
good evening, everyone.
We tried to get Danuta on.
The girl stole the show. In fact, we got a clip. We got a clip coming up, and
have got that clip because she was amazing. Hello, Moya.
Good evening.
I'm so glad that you found it uplifting, darling. It's so good.
Gary, welcome back. We love Gary, don't we? Great to have you on, Gary.
Absolutely love you.
And another one of our favourites. They're all our favourites. Paula's back as well. It is indeed. Smash the show like, guys. What's that? Smash the likes, guys. Yes, please. I didn't realise this. If you press the heart button on your YouTube, when you're watching this on YouTube, on your phone or television or a tablet, wherever you're watching it, press the heart button, give plenty of hearts, and apparently it pushes our show up the ranking so people can watch it, apparently.
Wow.
So,
start pressing that heart button.
Please share the hearts as much as possible. Good evening, everyone.
Hello. Hi, Jay. How are you?
Hi, Jay, regular as well. We got some.
Hiya.
Hope you enjoyed my hearts yesterday.
Perhaps give me a bit of training next time before you ask me to do a live stream. All we wanted to see was your face. We are listening. Yay!
Yeah, we've got some new people on tonight, so welcome if you just joined us.
Had a wonderful time both. That's brilliant. Evening, folks. Have I missed much? Hello, Andrew, my darling.
That's a bit of a deep question straight away, Mark, but we'll come to that. Hi, guys. Please tell me how you're going to get rid of all the illegals out of the UK. Well, we're going to come to that a little bit later in the show, no doubt, as we normally do. We tackle the real issues. You're getting so famous next year in the jungle with I'm a Celeb.
You won't see me in the jungle. Why? Because I won't eat bugs. No, thank you.
Well, you eat veg.
Yeah,
they're full of bugs, isn't they?
Actually, is it? So anyway.
Thank you very much, guys.
Conversation between themselves. They've all missed
Andrew,
each other.
we've missed you.
We've always missed you, Andrew.
Yes, we've missed you. We're going through all the
like a toothache.
Missed you like an hole in the head, yeah.
Hi guys, you're amazing.
Oh, sorry, I'm moving too quick here. I don't watch the BBC anymore. I don't blame you. The British biased bashing corporation. It was a British BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, but I like to call it the biased British Corporation because they're completely biased, aren't they? Hi, brothers and sisters. This is from hi, brothers and sisters in UK. Don't comply with
digital ID's agenda. 1,000,000%. If you love freedom in the UK and the future world, absolutely. We are trying to fight for that.
Mark Baines, I don't watch news anymore. Mark has come up a few times. He's watching on X. Mark is watching on X.
Thank you for watching.
If you're watching on X, please repost, please share. We'd really appreciate it very, very much. Chantel as well is on again tonight.
Hello, Chantel.
Good evening. So
she only blessed you.
Thank you very much. I received that in Jesus' name. Thank you very much. It was great to join you guys. Rocker's back as well.
Hello, Lee.
Lee's a great guy, and Rocker's back.
Hello, Rocker.
Your channel is going from strength to strength. On that note, Richard's watching.
Oh, we love you.
Richard, thank you very much for sharing. Please share the broadcast and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to visit our website, and you can find more details on there, how you can support what we're doing. And we have got events planned. In fact,
she said it was for Richie's sneeze.
Thank you. But just to say, we're on the road next year, and I know we've been mentioning it, but actually, I've got a little preview to give them, Rogue. You only found out about it tonight, didn't you? So we are having Richie and Rogue on tour, a Valentine's special.
Jeez, honestly.
But you can tell me what you think in a moment. Let me just give this a bit of a plug, right? So on the 14th of February in Wales. Yes, in Wales, but we will be in the Midlands, Northern Ireland, Manchester, Liverpool, Chester. We're going to come to a few places, get some venues booked, and we'll have some food, some fun, some music, some comedians, of course, and with our good selves, and we'll have a live audience as well. But 14th of February in Wales, we are hosting our first Richie and Rogue live event. That means you get an opportunity to come and watch us live on stage together. Now, she is absolutely crapping herself now.
I'm actually laughing at you because you said it on Valentine's Day. I mean, really, how romantic is that?
We can have a romantic set. We can give gifts out. We can have all kinds of things. It'll be a fantastic occasion.
I mean, honestly, guys, let's just really put this in the comments.
It's a cheap date.
It is a cheap date.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, like, what really would you like to do on Valentine's Day? Is it really coming to see us two with your little tables and your little food whilst we have like comedy and banter?
Yeah.
And I forget my words and just talk about menopause all night?
Well, it's good fun. We'll just do what we normally do, but we'll have audience participation. We can have people heckling in the crowd, and they can, we can have all kinds of things. It's going to be a fun night, full of fun and laughter. Food, and the bar will be open as well. You can have a few drinks afterwards. We're excited tonight as well because we got our good friend Dave Arson joining us a little bit later. In fact, he's in the green room waiting to come on, so we're going to bring him on.
David
and so just to go back to that then, so on the 14th of February, tickets will be available on Eventbrite very, very soon. If you're interested, please leave a comment, let us know. And we're going to put a contact page, Leave My Mouse Alone.
Wait, just go to Danuta's thing, please.
There you go.
No, yep. Are you going to provide partners? Oh my gosh, she's giving me the best idea in the world. What we're going to do is have a dating night too.
That's what we're going to do.
Valentine date night. Okay, so not
Who's
just
your plus one then?
I don't know. I'm actually gonna put it out there and ask if somebody will be my plus one.
So anybody want to be Rogue's plus one?
Would somebody like to be my date for Valentine's Day for my apparent show with you? Yeah,
the show that she found out about tonight that we're doing on the 14th of February. Tickets will be released soon for the small price of just £10. So £10 for the evening. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be filled with so much fun, laughter, and of course you can bring your loved ones or your plus one. Some of you might want to bring plus two. You never know. It's 2025 after all. You never know, Rogue. Andrew's
going to be my date.
There we go. Andrew, well, we're still waiting for that £1,000 gift.
Paul,
no, Andrew. No, we're still waiting for that £1,000 date.
It wasn't Paul. Andrew. It wasn't Andrew.
Wasn't it? Okay.
Paul is going to be my plus one. Paul Morgan. Thank you.
There we go. Me, Rogue.
Who's married?
Aren't you married? Asking if you're married.
No.
What
do you mean, me or him or us two?
We might as well be.
Oh my gosh.
We might as well be.
Worse.
I know. We might as well be because, the things I have to endure, it's like being in a marriage. I feel for you, gentlemen. I really, really do. But Richie and Rogue, there's some more comments coming in here.
Richie's orders. You will have fun and laughter.
Oh, we will indeed.
Oh my gosh.
We will indeed.
I only found out tonight, and I'll be honest. I'm a little bit like,
we could have a Valentine menopause special. That sounds fantastic.
It does actually. Yeah. Well done, Buffon.
That sounds like a great idea, though, doesn't it? Richard, you're looking very news-like. Do you know why I put a jacket on? Because it is freezing in the studio. It's not because I'm doing the news or anything like that. But
go on then, try and do the news.
Good evening and welcome to the news. Welcome to the news tonight with me, Richard Taylor. Breaking in Gaza, yes, and all that kind of stuff. I can't do the news. It's not what I do really, but thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You'd be laughing. I have inappropriate laughter at the most horrific times, and people just stare at me.
Or we could do an advanced date. Of course, with Advanced UK, we could do we could do that, couldn't we? We could match people together.
I would like to be your matchmaker. So first of all, I need to matchmake myself with somebody. And then I can matchmake you all. How about
that? Someone thinks I should be a date. Look,
I think you should be Rogue's date. Richie.
You can't keep your hands off her mouse. No, it's her. I'm trying to do the show here, and she's like taking off. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you'd want to be my date.
A mouse? How dare you? Anyway, moving on. I know we got Christians watching as well tonight, and so we've got to be careful. We just say it as it is. We have a bit of fun, of course we do on this show, but we want to say thank you for all of you joining. Please share the broadcast as well. We're on X tonight. We're on Twitch.
I hope you're hearting it.
I'll check now. Let's just check before we go into the carol service and we get into more serious things because we like to have a bit of fun, Rogue, don't we?
Where is Dave Atherton? He's in the back room. But his video is not
he's waiting till 8:30 because we did say 8:30. So let me just have a quick little look here. It's not coming on. Is it?
What are you doing?
Trying to get the live up. It's not coming up.
See if it's on my phone.
Live.
I'm just wondering if everybody can actually. Oh yeah, they're hearting it. Is that you?
No, I'm not hearting.
Right, are we ready?
Hit the heart button on there. Look, boom, 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 and share the broadcast as well. That'd be great. Let me just check if we're on X as well. We should be on Twitter as well.
Can I just say that mine is stuck at the top?
Okay. Right. Okay. Don't know what's going on with
What is
that.
going
The hearts
on?
are coming in. Yeah, send the hearts. We love
I'm hearting
that.
it anyway.
Yeah,
if
you
nobody
can't
else
heart
is.
your own show.
Well, I just did. I'm just teaching everybody how to do it. You've got to lead by example.
Yeah, you have
Heart
to.
it, darlings.
And for those of you who don't
Oh, dear.
know, this is our website. So if you go on to richieandrogue.com, the information is on there. Then you can actually see our website here. It's got a little bio on there as well. It's got all our latest videos and shorts and everything else. And of course, at the top, then you've got the events, which will be on there as well. The events that are coming up in relation to the 14th of February. There's a donate button there, which takes you to buy me a coffee. You can support us. Just drop a couple of quid in there. We'd really appreciate it. Any amount is always welcome, and it helps us to do what we do and don't have to worry about finances. So that's great. That's the plug over with for the website. Thank you for joining us. Now let's get into the meat of it then. We've had a crazy week this week. It's been a bit busy, but it's been good because, as we said, we started. We had 2 days off, didn't we? 2 nights off in Wildest, which is down in Fishguard, and it's a retreat where you can go, you give a donation, and they're very kind people. In fact, it was quite funny because we had a woman that worked there that recognized us off the show and being members of Advance UK, and she came up to the room, didn't she?
She knocked on the door and she's like, hello. And we were like, hello? And we were like, we're leaving, because we thought we were getting turfed out. And literally she walked, she said, no, don't go. We want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about Advance. I've seen your show. And actually, I just love you both. And we were like, oh,
Yeah.
we love you too.
Yeah, she was so
and
sweet.
she is wonderful.
Yeah,
Absolutely
she was.
wonderful.
Hillary, her name was. She was
Hillary,
lovely.
beautiful,
So
beautiful.
if you're watching Hillary, thank you for coming and say hi. Now, as we always do on the show, we like to play a funny video, don't we, Rogue? That's what we like to do.
And you think it's funny, and half the time I don't think it's funny.
So I prepared this one. I never tell you what the funny is going to be, do I? I never say what it is. So we're going to watch this funny. Then we'll be straight back because we're going to talk about the carol service. We've got some clips from there as well. And we're going to have some people that were there come on the live tonight to tell us what it was like. And we'll be right back after watching this funny. Well, I don't think it's that funny.
It's that time of the year when I'm having fun. Everyone else's poor, their dreams are gone. The grannies are shivering, can't put the heating on. Don't worry, they'll soon be gone. Merry Christmas! The Labour Party is done, but we still control everyone. The public call us scum, but we don't care, we don't care. Pot noodles for Christmas, everyone. La, 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 la. I've got some Arsenal tickets from Santa Claus. You've got anxiety and immigrants at your door. I got a new suit from my advisories. You have debt to pay and can't afford groceries. The Labour Party is done, but we still control everyone. The public call us scum, but we don't care, we don't care. Pot noodles for Christmas, everyone. La, 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 la.
Well, I was going to get a pot noodle tonight because if Keir Starmer had his way, let's be frank, we'd all be living off pot noodles, probably warmed up in the blooming microwave as well if you can pay the electric bill. Thanks to Ed Miliband and his net zero madness. The guy's absolutely crazy. You know, remember when Labour were pushing their manifesto saying, I'm going to bring bills down, I'm going to bring your bills down. Has anyone seen their bills go down? No. If anything,
they've gone up.
they've gone up, yeah. Like everything else in life, it always goes up, and it always does. Taxes. A wise man said to me once, there's 2 things certain in life. Number 1, you're going to die, inevitable. And number 2, taxes will always go up. And he was right.
Yeah.
And that was about 30 years ago when I was in my 20s. That makes me 50 years of age.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
You're old now.
I know. I'm in that category being old now, and I. So going back to the carol service then, we want to talk about it because, of course, we had Tommy Robinson, an urban scoop, and actually credit was given by Tommy to Pastor Ricky Doolan, who helped put on the event, and it was a carol service, was not a protest, and it was to celebrate Christ. And, you know, it was so Christ-centered, and to have it on deck, I've never seen anything like it outside 10 Down Street at that scale, actually. And some of the stories that came from there, we beamed in live with Shoab, So if you're watching, you should have done a bit more.
Yeah,
we're disappointed. Anyway, to say the least. And of course, we had friends. Danuta was there. Caroline, I think, is she coming?
Caroline Smith, Danuta.
Yeah, there was quite a few of our
I'm not
friends
sure
there.
actually if Edward and Sharon were
I
there.
imagine Ed was watching tonight, so maybe he can tell us. We can get Edward on if he wants to come on, it'd be great. But we're going to show you some clips now of some of the things that were said, and in particular, what Tommy had to say about.
It was quite moving.
It was. We're going to come to his state. There's a couple of clips of him. So we're going to go to the first one and show you. If you missed it, you can watch the full service on our live from yesterday. But here's Tommy being asked what the service is about.
I'm here with the one and only Tommy Robinson. Oh, tell us about today. Why is it needed, and what are we doing here?
Something very special is happening. You can see it, you can feel it. We've felt it in the last United Kingdom events. There's a Christian revival happening in Great Britain. And it's what you're going to see today. I'm looking forward to just standing and watching. I usually get stressed with these demonstrations. With the United Kingdom events, I've got no stress today. This is a celebration. It's to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, and I just want to soak it up, feel it. And do you know, when the priests are coming together and listening to them talk, something's happening. I can feel something happening. So
the Metropolitan Police has classed as a protest. What do you make of that?
What are we protesting against? Jesus, we're saying we're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Like, how can it be controversial or political to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ? How can the church be condemned? How can the Church of England be condemning us for celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ? It's insane.
I mean, they all for like tolerance and inclusivity, except when they was you.
Except when it's us. Except when it's working class Britain. And there's a reason the churches are empty, and it's because of the antics and the comments they made this week. They're driving people away from Christianity. Christianity is not weak. I grew up thinking Christianity was weak because of the Muppets representing it. So,
and what's your final Christmas message to everyone?
Have a great Christmas. Have a safe Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, John. You good?
Yeah. I mean, it was fantastic to hear what he had to say, but at the same time, you can see why people are put off from going to church, because a lot of what Tommy said there, a lot of people can relate to that. You know, I think one of the things he also said, he's seen Jesus as an activist, didn't he, of his time, because he cared about people, genuinely cared about people, and exposing people as well, and bringing the truth. And I think that's what Tommy's spent his whole life doing, really. You know, and for it, they've tried to put him in jail. Well, they have put him in jail. They've persecuted him. Done all kinds of things to silence the man, but they've failed to do it. And the amount of Christians that have been praying for Tommy is phenomenal. And to see him surrounded by so many Christians and pastors, because they were there as well when the pastors.
Yeah, I think, you know, he's formed such a beautiful relationship with them all, and they're really backing him, because a lot of them went into prison to see him, and a lot of them supported him in prison. And I think when you're in that sort of vulnerable spot, when you're in that kind of, you know, sort of area where you've got nowhere to go and you've only got your thoughts, you know, having people come to you and reach out to you and talk to you is just like everything that he needed at that moment in time. And then this is what has been that organic growth in now that we're proceeding forward in Christ back into Christmas.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting as well to note as well, there's been a real revival and a spiritual awakening happening across the country. And, you know, some of you watching this are not religious, I know, so don't worry, we're not going to Bible bash you. You're cool, right?
Andrew, that's
Andrew,
aimed
that's
at you.
Yeah. We're cool.
We love you just the way you are.
I think the important thing to remember, we were a fellowship this morning in Worcester, and we spoke with a lot of people there who were Christians, and they were saying how much they loved the carol service. They some of them attended it actually, and how much they appreciated the fact that we're putting Christ back into Christmas, because there was a report out this week that somewhere in Barnsley, they've, instead of calling it a Christmas tree, they've called it a multi-faith tree. You heard right, not a Christmas tree, because it offends people. So they called it a multi-faith tree. What a load of absolute codswallop. Do you like that word?
Did you want to say bollocks?
Bollocks, yeah. That's what I was looking for. But it was great because he was also surrounded by many of the pastors and ministers and bishops actually, who actually prayed before the event took place.
Holy Spirit boldness to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ all across this land. Amen. Father, we thank you for your hand of protection over him and his entire family. Amen. No weapon formed against him will prosper. No fiery dart will penetrate the shield of faith. Father, let the fire that you've ignited in him be like a catalyst in this country. Like the flame of revival, we pray, and we ask you for it in Jesus' mighty name. Hallelujah.
So there we have Bishop Kai, a good friend of ours and of the show. In fact, we spoke to him, didn't we, earlier today, because you were concerned about his voice, because when he get up and give that rousing prayer at the start of the carol service, I mean, you spoke. What did he say to you when you spoke to him today?
He said that his throat was really sore and really raw, and he was absolutely shattered because he'd travelled from 4 o'clock in the morning all the way, and then had the whole day there, and then had to go to Birmingham today.
Yeah.
So he's had a lot on. But the point is, he still stood there. And he delivered what he needed to deliver.
He did indeed. And so did many others that were there as well. And we're going to hear some of their stories now. But one story gripped so many people, and we got the clip of it to show you tonight if you missed it, was a young girl at the end of the carol service who got up and took the mic. But we're going to show you Pastor Chris Whitland, who shared some of his experience, and Don as well. Some of you know him for his songs and stuff around the lockdowns and COVID. But we're going to go to Chris Whitland now and check out what he had to say.
Church of England Bishop has called this event far right and exploiting Christian symbols for a populist movement. What do you think about that?
I think it's complete nonsense. We're not here as a political movement. We're here to celebrate the birth of Christ. Well, what's interesting is if you look at all the newspapers this week where bishops have condemned what we're doing here today, they've all made it political by saying, you know, Jesus was a refugee. And it's like, what's that got to do with it? This is not what we're here for. We're basically here because we believe that Christianity is being marginalised in this nation. And that's why we're here. We're going to stand up for our faith and stand up for Christianity. There's nothing far right about that at all, or exclusive.
The head of the Church of England is King Charles. Do you think he does enough to promote Christianity in this country and around the world?
I don't think I've ever seen him promote Christianity. I could be naive in saying that, but you know, he threw a party for Islam and Muslim guys in Windsor, and I've not seen anything of him doing that for Christians. So yeah, I definitely don't think he does.
We've seen citizens.
There we go. There we go. So, Rogue, that was Don and Chris Whitland sharing some of their experiences and what they faced, you know, around the whole carol service thing. And I think it's important to remember, one of the things that we support, is, of course, a lead in Advanced UK here in Wales, is we believe in the Christian constitution. Yeah, that what needs to happen in this country more than ever is we need to close the borders. And we mentioned the comments earlier, because what's happened is we've allowed people from other countries that have a way of life and civilization, ideology and doctrines that are completely alien and not compatible with British culture or history. Yeah. And we must hold on to the fact that we are a Christian nation. And whether we're practicing, whether we go to church or not, to me is irrelevant. What's important is we hold on to those values that made our country great, of Great Britain, and of course, not forgetting Northern Ireland. Of course, we love them in Northern Ireland. Now we're waiting for our guest to come on, Dave Atherton. But as we do, we want to tell you about a few things that are coming up. On next Wednesday, we have Father Calvin Robinson with us here, live in the studio, not in the studio, but we're hoping we're going to get guests in the studio. We're going to come down in a few moments, but he'll be with us on the 17th. That's next Wednesday at 8 p.m. For our Christmas special, Rogue. Are we going to decorate the studio?
I think so. I think we should get a little tree,
yeah,
and a little bit of lighting, and just kind of sing. Can we have mince pies? And Bailey's cream, mulled wine, Bailey's cream. Do you know?
We'll have to get a driver. We're going to have to get a driver.
Doused all over my mince pies.
We're going to have to get. Oh, what did you just say then?
Doused
all over your mince pies.
Yeah,
lovely. Look forward to seeing that. Mulled wine.
Dave is here. I can see
Dave is live. Okay, so we're going to go to our good friend, and he is a social media influencer, very well known on X.
He's my favourite in the whole wide world.
I know.
Dave.
Yeah, we know about.
Hang on, wait. Get him on. Get him on.
All right, let's get him on. I'm on. He's doing something in a minute.
He's coming on now. Come on.
There you go, Dave. Hey, there he is, Dave. Good evening. Good to see you.
Dave, listen.
Yeah.
We're doing a show, apparently, live, and we're doing it in Wales on Valentine's Day. Now, I need to take a date. So, okay. I have a date.
Please take it off my hands for a couple of days, David. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I haven't been to Wales for a while. This might seem the right excuse.
You'll have to join our panel on Valentine's Day. We're going to actually put meals out for people and a few little trinkets, and then we're going to do like a little dating thing as well, because Danuta, our beautiful Danuta, is saying she's asking for a friend, but she wants to know if we can bring single men. So actually, you know, these ladies can mingle.
She's looking for a +1, David, and I think you'd be the suitable person for her. I think you really would.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sure I'll be delighted to meet her. So at the moment, I couldn't pull a muscle, but carry on, you know.
David. So, David, just before we come on air, we've been discussing the carol service hosted by Urban Scoop and organised by Pastor Ricky Doolan. And we've had some clips of some of the speeches there. And Tommy, we're going to come to his speech in a few moments when he was on stage. And of course, for me, the climax of it all was that young girl that got up at the end. But you were live there. You were on our live feed as well. Tell us what it was like, the feeling. Tell our folks what it was like, David.
In the context that I'm not overly religious, it really was quite moving and uplifting. I wouldn't say that something entered my soul, but certainly it. So I was definitely moved by the occasion and the piety and the genuineness of the people that were there. Overall fantastic event. I was actually with three other people who were far better committed Christians than I were, and they had an even greater time than me. And funny enough, I went to church last Monday. It was just over a year since my partner died, and it was it was a memorial for her, and that was a full Church of England service. I maybe should be going a bit more. That is my takeaway from the afternoon's event.
That's interesting, David, because a lot of people have said that they're not religious, not into religion per se, but there's a real sense that people are looking for something now, something a bit different, and I think it's because of the times that we're living in. People are looking around themselves, the cost of living, the pressures of life. There's so much bad bad news going on. People are looking for some good news, looking for light in the midst of darkness. And I think it's fair to say that those that were there, like yourself, David, and by the way, our thoughts and prayers with you, because we know it was a sensitive time as well. And Rogue mentioned it, and in fact, you were poorly last week, and she sent you a care box, didn't she? I gather.
I know. I might have to rush over there in a second and rescue one of those bottles of port that she sent me.
Oh, that was it was so kind of her.
I know, it really was. As I said to you this afternoon, it must have gone down to Boots and bought half their store out. It really was.
Well, she said to me, "Can you pop into the shops to get a couple of things?" And we come out there with a trolley full. I don't know. And she says, "For Dave, I'm sending him a care box." And oh, that's so sweet. And it is, because caring over Christmas shouldn't be just for Christmas, should it? It should be all year round. And you've done it done for you as well. You said
I was really, really poorly, and I had somebody send me like a little bracelet so that I would remember them. And it was a beautiful woman who was also sick herself. And she just sent me the bracelet. And it was just that kind of, that thoughtfulness. And when you're feeling really ill and you can't get out, it's just really important to have something there so that you can just focus on getting better. So that was my care package for you.
Thank you. I've raided the multivitamins and the cough mixture already. So,
brilliant, David. So, I was going to ask you, are you wearing lipstick, David? But I think it's red wine, isn't it? It is 2025.
Don't be so transphobic.
Never. So we're going to cut to just a few little clips, David, and we're going to talk about the carol service because it was quite poignant. And we're going to talk about the protests that were against it actually as well, because I find that extraordinary how you can have Christians protest against a carol service about Christ. Absolutely just crazy. So here's Tommy when he took the stage. But by the way, folks, Tommy actually didn't really do much at the service. He stood there in complete awe of what was going on. And in his own words, he shares his experience of how it made him feel, because he didn't want to make it about him. He wanted it to be about Christ. And here's what he had to say when he took to the stage.
Gatherings, this is the most beautiful moment I've had in my life as an activist. It's been beautiful. I'd like to thank Ricky for what you've done. Ricky put this together. You can give me a shout out, but I didn't do this. Ricky done this. That's the total truth. They put this together. And I just say, when I started in 2009, the church stood against us. In every city we went into, as a cry for help at what was happening in our towns and cities, the church leaders stood and opposed us. That drove me away from Christianity. In fact, I hated the church for them betraying us. We, all of us, were their lost sheep. The way they've acted this week is the reason that churches are empty. But when I went to prison, I met a pastor and betrayed by the church and away from Christianity. As I knew the Quran and I knew Islam and I didn't know the Bible and I didn't know Christianity. But as I started understanding the Bible and the pastor done lessons with me for the life of Jesus, I understood that Jesus would have stood against the establishment. He would have stood with the sinner. He would have stood, and I'll be honest, I found it hard to even betray myself or say I'm a Christian, because I know I live a life of sin. But then I realised that Jesus stood with the sinners. So I've been on my own path, and you know, today, I've stood there and watched every second of this. It's been the most beautiful moment, standing there watching every minute of it. And moments like this bring me closer to faith. So I'd like to thank every one of you, because it's been beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I say, people say, why are we here today? We're here to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And every one of us, including myself, need to ask what that means to us. What does it mean that Jesus lived for us, he died for us, he rose again? And every one of us, I struggle. I struggle again just because I live a life of sin, and I struggle with it. But then I realise we all do. So I'd like to thank everyone that's come today. I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I'd like to see, do you know this, let this be the foundation. You see, next year, we're going to get a website up very soon with the help of Ricky and his team, yeah? We're going to start planning next year's Christmas celebration. We're going to fill Trafalgar Square. This is going to become Unite the Kingdom's yearly event. People are going to travel from across Europe and across the world to take part in putting Christ back in Christmas every year in London, in Great Britain.
Merry Christmas!
I think only standing here today, I know many of you are watching this at home. You have to be here to feel what has happened. Something great is happening. And I've seen it at each one of our Unite the Kingdom events, as I saw the cross start playing prevalence, as I saw Jesus is King. And I felt something happening, and I felt it again today in this moment. This moment will live with me. I'm going to remember it forever. So it's been beautiful. I thank everyone that's come. And just, if you're one of the people, do you know, this wasn't free. This cost money. This wouldn't have happened without the people who supported this at home. I want to thank the people that made this possible today. You made it possible. We didn't make it possible.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
And again, just, girls, you were unbelievable, man. You've got a very proud mum there. I stood there watching her look up at you. Yeah, everyone. And you know, Speaker's Corner Bob. Because, do you know, as I was pushed away from Christianity, and then I saw Bob. And then I saw Bob. And as I watched him, I felt it. And in every one of these preachers today, you can feel it. You can feel the belief, you can feel the passion, you can feel something. And as I watched Bob's masculine Christianity, I thought, now I'm listening. I think Bob, you probably opened so many eyes. But yeah, just to everyone today, this has been a beautiful moment, man. So God bless everyone. God bless you all.
God bless. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Tommy.
There we go, David. Yeah, I know you were there in the crowd. We had you on a live stream, Rogue, didn't we?
Well, we tried. I mean, you were brilliant for the time that you could do it, but you weren't feeling very well, were you?
No, I've got the flu that's going around. It's now entered its second week, and standing out in the freezing cold on Saturday afternoon didn't exactly do me any favours. But I've lived to fight another day. Don't worry. Oh, by the way, just before we go any further, can I give you two reasons why there has been a renaissance in Christianity in this country? Two reasons. First of all, we've lost faith in our government of all persuasions. Yeah. And the second reason, we only saw today 16 people murdered on Bondi Beach in Sydney. The rise of militant, violent Islam and murderous Islam. I think they are the two main reasons. But of course, once people do discover Christianity, that it is all about brotherly love and turning the other cheek, and and it's not about violence. It's not about a political view. It's about the celebration of Christ and the celebration of Christianity. You know, and it, you know, you can genuinely say that Christianity is the religion of peace, unlike you say that of some others.
Yeah.
But you know, also as well, I've also got the advantage of my mother's mother, my gran. She was Jewish, and I'm actually descended from one of the oldest Jewish families that came to Britain in the late 17th century.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, my oldest known ancestor is was a goldsmith, Jacob Simons. He was a Sephardic Jew who came over from the Netherlands. So how I ended up being a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Aryan, far-right Nazi Jew, I've got no idea. But there you go.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I look upon myself as being Judeo-Christian, but so if you know the way that you know that the Jews in Britain, in Manchester, and Australia have been treated, I really feel as if we as Christians, I'm baptized Christian, by the way, and I see myself at least as a cultural Christian. Perhaps we ought to go down to our local synagogue and you know stand outside and offer our support to them. So
do you know what? I actually agree with that, because you know we need to show solidarity. We have to stand together. You know, if we're going to stand together as Christians, you know, for a carol service, you know, we are doing it for a purpose, and that is we need to stand together. And I absolutely think if anybody has got a synagogue near them, that they can go and, you know, offer that support, because let's face it, a lot of people are living in fear right now, and actually when you live in fear, it is like a really debilitating and intimidating kind of way to live. You are literally just watching your every move. And you know, like what we saw today, which we're going to come to in a minute, was devastating, absolutely shocking. And it is just horrific to see again and again and again these scenes where, you know, there is murder, there are, you know, firearms. I can't do this anymore. And Keir Starmer and the global, you know, elitism are allowing this agenda to happen. And when are we going to rise up? I mean, Bulgaria, let's look at Bulgaria. You know, it's collapsed because the people spoke. When are we going to speak up and say something to actually shake their foundation and uproot them? Because what is it? Are we too stiff upper lipped? I don't understand what it is.
Sure, absolutely. No, I just think we're totally spineless in this country, and you know, the principal problem is if we had even policing, not two-tier policing, if we had even justice in this country, and we stood up to militant Islam, there would be civil disorder in this country, and no Home Secretary wants it on their CV. Best of all, a Pakistani Muslim heritage Home Secretary as well. So I know all we're doing is we're just waiting, you know, for the crocodile to eat us last.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, very quickly, I don't want to hog the show too much, but
carry on.
You're our guest.
One I don't know whether you know, there is a phrase in Arabic which translates to "after Saturday comes Sunday," and what it is amongst militant Islam. I'm not talking about moderate Islam. With militant Islam, once they've destroyed Israel and all the Jews, they will come for the Christians next. Look at Egypt, look at Syria, look at Lebanon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
very quickly, the Israel is on the front line for us in the Middle East.
Yeah, I mean, when you consider what happened on October the 7th, those scenes, you know, and people, we move on. The newsreel moves so fast, and we forget. I mean, we were looking at some news articles from the Telegraph and from other papers on a Sunday, you know, Sunday newspapers from a few years ago, and how they were locking us down and how they were doing all that. And some of the papers, the headlines, you read them, you think, did that actually happen? And people move on so fast, and they forget what governments have done to us. And going back to your point there about what's happened, of course, we're going to come to the story in a few moments on Bondi Beach today. I mean, just tragic, horrific scenes. And again, anti-Semitic as well in its very nature.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of Jewish people and Jewish communities that are fearful, and they should not be, because, you know, I as a Christian, I believe we should pray for the peace of Israel. I'm a supporter of Israel. I make no excuse for that. People can call me a Zionist. I'm not paid by Israeli governments, but I believe that Israel is strategically part of God's plan in the future. And I do believe that there is this kind of, it's almost like an unseen spiritual attack upon the Jewish community across the world, actually. You know, we've seen them, you know, since the 1960s, when they came back to their homeland as promised in the Abrahamic promises, David, you know, as coming from a Jewish background. And I think, you know, I think people forget and don't understand the full context. They only get what mainstream media pumps at them. And, you know, some of it is not true. We know that. It's lies to pitch a certain story. What was that, love? Oh, I'm banging the table. I've been told about banging the table again. I always get told off. She's kicking me again. No, because I'm leaning on the table, love. That's all right. I'll be okay. Get back to the story. So Bondi Beach, we're going to come to that because we got some clips from some of the scenes, and I want to put a warning on this for those watching. Just be aware that, you know, some of these clips might cause you distress, but we've got them. We're going to show them in a few moments. But
can I just go to what Edward said? He said, ever since Salman Rushdie in the 1980s, our political leaders have ignored the elephant in the room. What do you think about that?
Which elephant? Because I was in the middle of a.
No, I know, but we're talking.
My thought process. I was talking about the attack on Jews.
And actually, that's part of the thing. This is part of what he's saying.
But I just wanted to say from us, certainly from myself and Rogue, that our hearts go out to all the victims that have been sadly and tragically affected by the deaths. I think there was 11 in total that have passed away, sadly. 29 that were apparently injured, and 2 police officers.
Yeah.
So, you know, our thoughts and prayers are firstly with them and the families and the authorities that did a sterling job, as far as we're aware, in turning up and bringing the gunman down. I think it was a civilian, which we're going to show a clip in a few moments. But it highlights a real problem, and the elephant in the room that Edwards mentioned is that because of two-tiered policing we've had in this country, I think we're going to see more and more, sadly, of these kinds of things happening on our streets, David, aren't we?
I know. Choose your words very carefully, Dave. I'm surprised. Choose your words very carefully. I really am genuinely surprised we haven't had any more atrocities of our own, like the 7/7 and, you know, the 2 London Bridge attacks, including the Borough Market attack as well, and Manchester. I'm surprised we haven't seen any more. And let me pay tribute to MI5 for doing a magnificent job. I'm told that the 44,000, of which 39,000 are Muslims, that are on their database, as seen to be as potential terror suspects, has grown to 60 to 80,000.
Wow!
So we have, you know, let's assume let's take 10%. You know, 6,000. 6,000. We have 6,000 ISIS nutters who are hell bent on killing as many Jews as Christians they can in this country, given the chance. You know, the greatest will in the world. MI5, will slip up sooner or later. Someone doesn't put something on the database, and an event goes missing that connects some dots. And we're going to have another Southport. We're going to have another 7/7. We're going to have another Ariana Grande concert. We should not have to live our lives like this. And what needs to happen is all those 39,000 Muslims that are on MI5's list. If they don't have British passports, they should be summarily deported. And those who do have British passports, did they acquire them, or were they born here? And those who acquired them, they should be taken off of them, and they should be deported as well. We can't go on like this, because I'm writing an article soon. The working title is "Britain Will Be the New Israel," whereby we will become a hotbed of civil war between militant Islam and the British people and the establishment. There's a professor of modern urban warfare called Professor David Betts, BETZ. He has warned that Europe is on the brink of civil war. He believes we're in a low level civil war at the moment, which I won't dispute with him. And of course, the government does nothing about it. Does absolutely nothing about it. Paralysed with fear, paralysed with human rights lawyer attitudes. You know, the
Yep.
first job of Starmer is to protect the people of this country.
Protect his own people. Yeah.
He's not though. He's throwing everybody under
I mean,
the bus.
yeah, when they allow things like this to happen, David, you can see there on your screen. We'll just take this banner off here a second so you can see it.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
the articles like this: Pakistani influencer to tour Britain after calling on Muslims to do jihad. And, you know, when you look at things like that, and that's just one little piece, there's a whole range of things I could show our audience tonight.
Sure.
And it is the government that have allowed this to happen. We have Shabana Mahmood now in charge of the borders, promising to stop the borders. And we've had low crossings the last few days. That's because of the weather, not because of government intervention. But today, I think around 700 have arrived because the weather's been better. So, you know, there's a real sense, palpable anger in the country that politicians are failing us as people because they're opened up the borders and they're not caring for their own citizens first. So this isn't a case of us being, you know, against anything. We're for what is right. And we've allowed this to happen, David. And these are politicians that, you know, I didn't vote for Labour. Obviously, I've never voted for Labour in my life. Well, I did when I was younger because I was in Wales. Everyone voted for him. A donkey with a rosette on it would have got voted in Wales, David. You know what it's like. But you know,
Jimmy Savile,
well, exactly. Yeah. What's it going to take, Dave, to stop the rot? Because some people would argue that it's too far, the country's too far gone, and people are leaving in their droves. So, what is the answer? I mean, we don't owe the silver bullet, but where can we start at least?
Where we can start is, as I say, deporting all you know, particularly the crowd that go out on a Saturday afternoon. All the students, all the pro-Palestinian students who are over here on visas, their visas should be immediately revoked, and they should be immediately deported. You know, often when you make an example of a few people, the others do tend to sort of fall in line afterwards. But in practice, I think nothing will happen, and the government will only be forced to do anything when they have the next atrocity. It's as bad as that. It really is as bad as that. And I think I better choose my words very carefully again before I go off into one of my rants. If we have another major atrocity in this country, I think the blood will boil in the population of this country. I obviously want everyone to stay within the rule of law, but I feel that some people will be so angry about it, it may spill into some areas which might not be very wholesome, should we say. That's probably the politest way to put it. Yeah, I know. You know, I can understand it. You know, it's not as if, you know, it's not as if people like myself, people like you, people like Tommy Robinson, you know, even some, and particularly Douglas Murray, mainstream commentators like Douglas Murray, have not warned the government of what's going to happen. You know, this is just sheer negligence and cowardice on behalf of the Uni Party of this country. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Look, to my mind, you know, if I was Prime Minister, I'd be lining my ducks up. I'd be getting the Chief of the Army and the Armed Forces into the office. Look, we're going to have this little crackdown. But by the way, just as an aside, there was a study done of American mosques that was done in 2000. December. It was published date was December 2011, and they found that 80% of American mosques, the imams and the clerics, were actually preaching jihad and violent jihad as well. Jihad sort of means struggle. So you know, it's one of those sort of wormy Arabic words that is open to interpretation. But these people were actually preaching violent jihad. 80% of the mosques in America. So you can bet your bottom dollar that in Britain, British mosques aren't that much different. You know, if people out there aren't aware, at least 50% of the Islamic clerics who preach in mosques are trained in the Saudi Arabian Salafist and Wahhabi sects of Islam, which is the most extreme. And and what it is your duty as a Muslim to engage in jihad to create an Islamic Islamic caliphate, country.
Caliphate, yeah.
Caliphate, like
Yeah.
in Spain from 711 to 1492. So they just won't deal with this. And you can deal with it when you got a good chance of winning. In 10, 20 years' time, maybe not.
I think we had Martel on. It's not his real name. We had to hide it for security reasons a few weeks ago. And he is a former Muslim, and he attended a mosque. Oh, Dave, you were on the show. He attended a mosque in Cardiff, one of the oldest mosques in the whole of the UK. Actually, it dates right back. He was saying that some of the stuff that they were teaching there, they were celebrating October the 7th. They were celebrating the death of Jews, and we've got clips. I've not managed to get on the show tonight. Videos of calling for the death of Jews and everything else, and this still goes on in our streets. And there's a real sense that the media are actually stirring that pot, aren't they? Because they don't call it out. They do now and again because they have to show, that they're impartial. But the truth is, by and large, if you watch mainstream media, you are fed a narrative that is completely skewered to a certain way of thinking, and it's not what's really happening, Dave, is it?
No. In fact, funny enough, I found out the other day the person who copyrighted "Islam is a Religion of Peace" was David Cameron. Back in 2010.
What?
David Cameron.
I was having this discussion with some friends earlier. We were in a church fellowship thing today in Hereford with our friend Mark, and wonderful people. And very much, in fact, the minister and his wife joined Advance UK. After we shared our story, they said, we're going to join Advance. We told them about Ben Habib, and they joined. And a lot of them there, some of them attended Tommy Robinson's carol service. They would be considered far right. They're not. They're just believers, and they want their country back.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important we understand that this isn't about an evangelization of Christianity. This is about us saving our country from the existential threat that we are now facing, where our country is changing beyond all recognition. I think, Rogue, you shared some of that with them as well, didn't you, in the meeting, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Have I pulled you away from your phone? Were you distracted?
No, I was actually just putting a comment up, but I don't think it's just come up there.
No. She's on her phone trying to comment on some of the things here. But Dave, we've got some clips from what happened in Australia, because we do want to talk about Bondi Beach, and of course, as we mentioned, our hearts and prayers go out to those who've been sadly affected. And for those of you watching, thank you for being with us tonight. We start with a bit of fun on the show, but there is a serious side to what we do as well, and we call things out when we see them. And Dave, of course, is of Jewish descent here with us tonight, and he's not a guest anymore. He's part of the family now. He's a regular.
He's my date.
He's your date. Yeah, for the 14th of February, where we have in Richie and Rogue on tour in Wales. Tickets will be available on Eventbrite. But we want to go to that story. But also, I just want to mention, if I can, just interject here, Dave. We got a few things happening. December the 17th, Father Calvin Robinson is with us for our Christmas special. Good friend of yours and mine, Dave, as well. And
he's very good. I like Calvin.
Yeah, he's going to be on, and then we've got a couple of special things happening. We've got the guys from Raise the Colours will be joining us, sharing their experiences of what they've been doing, and of course your friend as well,
beautiful and wonderful Christian.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a bit more?
Was with basically he was the undercover guy, so he went to France and basically had a look around, seeing like what is happening on the ground. And from what he said, if we do the trailer,
we're going to watch the trailer now. This is
it's dark.
Yes.
It's very, very dark.
I'll watch
This is from the migrant camps in Dunkirk.
It's a lot deeper and darker.
The French police are complicit every step of the way.
And that was when I heard the gunfire. We need to get out of here quick. They do not care about human life. They are dangerous people.
For 2 weeks, talk was undercover in those camps. This is an absolute scandal.
Well, there we go, Dave. That was a clip. Talk TV have commissioned a documentary on what's been happening, and it is, of course, nothing you'll see on mainstream media. And we have been honoured and privileged that Rogue is friends with the guy who went undercover, the chap you saw in that documentary, Christian, who's going to be with us We were going to get him live in the studio, but we're not set up just yet for guests in the studio. We will be soon, the Rogue, won't we?
We will, indeed.
We are pushing to get, we're going to do a fundraiser to get some cameras and microphones in here so we can have guests come in. Hopefully you can come in the studio as well, Dave. But he's going to be sharing with us remotely his experience of filming that documentary. So the dates will be out for that. You don't want to miss that because it's going to be so powerful, and we're going to give you an insight that mainstream media won't give you.
Absolutely. And it's actually quite frightening. You know, actually everything they miss out, everything that they try to tell you, just whatever they say, just flip it. And that's really what's happening. So when they say there's no guns, there's no firearms, there really is. Everything they say it's too much, I think.
It is. And talking about migrants and all this kind of stuff we're going on, David, we want to cut to the story tonight, which is to do with Australia.
Yeah.
What's your take on it, David? Because I know there's a lot of news. I think this year is a clip. I want to show people this clip. This is what you sent me, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
where they are chanting "Gas the Jews."
Yeah, just watch this. I mean, that's quite frightening. And that's in Australia. This is now obviously just before what's just happened, which we're going to talk about.
That was 2 days before. That was the 12th.
And the 2023. It happened in 2023 and 2025, didn't it? So obviously there is this real sense in Australia. It's dangerous, David, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. By the way, sorry, I don't want to sort of rain on the parade here. Funnily enough, I was researching this today. They don't say "gas the Jews"; they say "Where are the Jews?" You listen to it again. Yeah.
Let's listen to it again.
Let's listen to it again.
Listen to it again because it really does sound like.
Yeah, let's listen there. Yeah, you're right, David. They do say, "Where are the Jews?" So it's like they're kind of hunting them down, sort of thing. This angle. I mean, and I don't understand why Keir Starmer doesn't stand up in Parliament and call these things out. I know this is in Australia, but of course, everything affects us all because we're connected globally, aren't we? And I think what's happened in Bondi Beach today is illustrative of the fact that when things like that are allowed on the streets, whether you're pro-Palestinian lot out on the streets, as you've mentioned, David, it's heading towards a civil war on our streets.
I know. Whether they say "gas the Jews" or "Where the Jews," "Where are the Jews," I don't think it really matters because both mean that they want them exterminated.
Yeah.
But very quickly there was some research done in 2010 by Pew Research into attitudes towards Jews from the Middle East and North Africa. Between 95 and 99% of respondents had an unfavourable opinion of Jews. The average Muslim in the Middle East is intrinsically anti-Semitic. They are the most racist people who live on the earth. They accuse us of being racist in this country or Islamophobic. They really are the most hateful group of people ever to have lived on this planet. If you look at the current peace negotiations, there have been peace negotiations going back to 1936 when Israel was a British mandate, and the Jews and the Muslims were always fighting each other in Israel during that time, and they came out with a Peel Commission. It reported in 1937. It was started in 1936. They suggested offering the Jews 17% of the land of Israel, 17%, and the other 83% goes to the Palestinians. They rejected the idea. And there has been at least 10 separate occasions since 1936, most notably in 48, 1967, 1973, 2000 at the Camp David with Bill Clinton, whereby Israel has offered a two-state solution to the Palestinians. Every single time they found an excuse to walk away. You know, at the moment, Donald Trump has got his two-state solution up his sleeve, but you can guarantee the Palestinians and Hamas, Palestinian Authority, will find a way to walk away from any peace deal, because all they want to do is arm themselves with AK-47s and just kill as many Jews as they can. Whenever you hear about all, let me also give you a very quick anecdote. Back in November 2023, a month or so after the atrocities in Israel, I went to the Cenotaph to show my respects. I think it was about the 10th or 11th of November on Saturday afternoon, show my respects. And I was a bit late because I was obviously I'd see my ex-missus in hospital, and the policeman stopped me and so you can't go any further. Blah blah blah. Okay, no problems. I just asked the copper, if I said gas the Jews, would you arrest me? He said yes, I would. If I said from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, would you arrest me? No. I said, you do know they mean exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the pure hatred that comes out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you know, I saw a clip the other day, and there was a guy, it was a man dressed in a burqa, and there was this protest going on, and he was just walking in between everybody, just like walking around, and the police didn't flinch whatsoever, and he was just in and out, and then he basically whipped down the Palestine flag and sort of ran off. But the point is, it was a man in a burqa, and the police did nothing. We don't know who it is, what it is, man, woman, child, whatever. Somebody said yesterday that there was a woman in a burqa and she put everybody, under it. She is actually hiding people under her burqa. Now, for me, that's really dangerous, because the police were just so nonchalant, didn't care. And then when they realized actually that he had actually taken down this flag, they went marching after him because he was white. And
as we're on air right now, we've just seen some news breaking here, Rogue, didn't we, that these attacks are happening right now in the last 24 hours. America and Australia, and strangely enough, Amsterdam. Whilst we're on air, apparently some things are happening in Amsterdam.
Jews are being attacked. Jews are being attacked.
So there is this real rise, isn't it? And I think those of us who I'm not Jewish. I mean, not with a nose like that. I'm more likely to be a Roman, to be honest. But
Rome's all over your nose.
It all over my nose. Yeah, Rome's everywhere. Yeah. And I think it's important to understand what is really going on. That there is this conflict between good and evil happening. And whilst we can blame religion for all the wars in the past, religion is created by man. All religion is being created by man. And it's just people's idea of God. But when you look at the religion of Islam, it's not just a religion, it's a civilization, it's a way of life. You are born a Muslim, you don't become a Muslim. And I think when people grasp that and they realize the caliphate that you mentioned, David, and the idea of getting that, put out there is through jihad, which is to convert the entire globe to Islam. And they'll do it by the sword if necessary. Those are the facts. Whether you're a moderate Muslim, whether you're a non-practicing, that is what the Quran teaches us. I mean, I was fortunate enough to study theology and did a little bit of Islam. Not too much, but I'm not an expert, but I knew enough to understand that the religion of Islam is not one of peace. In fact, the concept of God is love in Islam is alien to them. It's a God of judgment, and you have to appease that God by carrying out certain acts. One of those, of course, is visiting Mecca, but one of those is also not just 5 times a day praying out of duty, not out of love, but it's done because they have to do certain acts, like Mormons, and have to go on, missions and all that kind of stuff. But they believe also that if they die in the name of Allah to promote his cause and they kill Jews, there's a special place for them in heaven. So when you've got that being taught to people from birth, that is indoctrinated in their psyche. And so what you get then is you breed a generation of terrorists. That's literally what we've seen. And we've allowed it to happen in our country. And it's not Christians standing against Islam. It's about ordinary people of faith, no faith, and all faith saying, this is not a religion of peace. This is a demonic attack on us as people. It's a civilization that we do not want in our country. Our parliament should be sovereign, should not be influenced by Islam at any level of society, in my opinion, because it's not who we are as people.
Sure.
Denise has just said Islam is, put it up for me a second, Islam is not a religion, it's a doctrine and an ideology which hates everyone and actually especially women. And I've watched, again, clips where the guys are attacking the women. There was actually in Germany, I don't know if you saw this, there was a woman in shorts and a T-shirt. It was a really hot day and she was walking through and a whole load of women, Islamic women who were, again, in their burqas, started beating up this woman. And then a man came over and then literally knocked her to the ground. It's awful. Like, literally, nobody is safe, and the women, are at threat, from the rape and the pillaging and just getting beaten. And they don't care. They do not care.
Sure. I'm not being rude. I'm actually trying to track down a hadith from here we go. This was actually in the preamble of Hamas's constitution. This was the seventh thing in the preamble. The hour will not be established until you fight with the Jews, and the stone behind which a Jew will be hiding will say, "O Muslim, there is a Jew behind me, so kill him."
Wow.
What?
Wow, that says it all, doesn't it, David? And look, why are the politicians not doing anything? I mean, that's one of the reasons why we got involved in politics again, certainly for myself, is because, Ben Habib set up Advance UK, and I thought, you know what? He is someone who's from Pakistan, Karachi, born there, but he believes in the Christian constitution. He believes in what is right for our country.
Sure.
And I think we have to fight with the levers of democracy that we have. But as you've said, David, it might become inevitable at some stage in the near future. Many people are predicting it. A lot of political commentators are saying, look, we're not going to do it through politics. So I think we have to try the both. We certainly, and I know churches are now rising up. Pastors need, if there are ministers watching this, you need to wake up. Your congregation, you don't just give them 3 points and a poem in your services. You need to rally them together and make them realize that your faith is under attack. Your country, your children, your wives are under attack. And people need to wake up, David, don't they? We're going to go to some of the clips. Sorry, we're going to go to some of the clips because I say this in the utmost respect. I want to get them out of the way because they're distressing, and I'm building up to it because they're horrific scenes. And we've got the gunman that was responsible for shooting and killing some of those who attended the celebration. In fact, before we go, I keep saying this, before we go there, it was a Jewish celebration. I mean, you did some research on it earlier.
Hanukkah, and obviously it's an 8-day Jewish festival, and it's like the wintertime festival. It's like a festival of lights. And, I just find it, again, they target on special events. They've rammed people at Christmas. Mm-hmm. They've done, the Jewish festival or the beginning of, Hanukkah. But we've got so many attacks happening on certain events that are important to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go through these clips, and we're going to come to you, David, because you're the expert on this. So I don't know which order these are going to come in now, but these are some of the clips that, by the way, the BBC put these clips out. So apologies for showing the BBC on our show. She's going to tell me off later.
They're going straight up?
I've no idea.
Stay there. Right behind.
Yeah, there's one clip there. We're just going to show another here. This is where the...
Oh!
Campbell Parade was just at Bondi Beach, where a shooting just took place at a Jewish event that was held just by the beach. I spoke to an eyewitness who was at the event. It was meant to celebrate the Jewish festival of Hanukkah. He said that he saw two shooters on a bridge shooting at the crowd. He fell to the ground with his two children and later escaped safely. Now, police say that they are currently searching the area for IEDs. It's still an active situation. They have also said there are multiple fatalities. They won't confirm the number just yet. They've also said there are 2 police officers that have been injured, although we don't know how badly injured they are.
Investigation and shortly after the shooting occurred, police located a vehicle in Campbell Parade at Bondi, which we believe has several improvised explosive devices. We have our rescue bomb disposal unit there at the moment working on that.
This is a shocking event. It's not common in Australia, and it's all the more shocking because of that. What I can say is that there will be a comprehensive police response. We're sending a clear and unambiguous message to the Jewish community, in fact every Australian that lives in this state, that these horrible acts of violence will never be tolerated, and anyone who perpetrates them we will throw the book at. Anyone who's thinking about it will be thoroughly investigated.
Sorry, somebody's now saying that there's something happening in Germany as well.
Right now,
so we've got Germany,
Amsterdam,
and Australia. So this is like succinct. They're trying to do something together as
It's a global
shot.
thing, isn't it?
It is. It's like
coordinated. They've either been inspired or this is coordinated by ISIS.
Absolutely. It sounds very
possibly
coordinated.
Qatar, or even Qatar, possibly. By the way, that is my Hanukkah. Well, I was given.
Oh, you've got because you did some. No, David, are these 8 candles, aren't they, that they celebrate? The Hanukkah. Well, I can't pronounce it right.
It's the menorah.
Minerva, yeah. I think it's 9 actually. I think 9 actually is for. I'm
going to put you on full screen.
I say Christmas.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very lovely.
I was selling that by an Israeli friend of mine. So
that's
fantastic,
awesome. That's
fantastic.
really beautiful. So look, what is really going on? If all of these are happening right now, you know, who is orchestrating this? I understand who, but who is above and saying it right now?
I think my instinct is that they see what's happened, what's gone on in Sydney, and they're copying. Although behind the people who may or may not be funding this, or who are behind it, could be Qatar, or more importantly, the Muslim Brotherhood. Do you guys know about the Muslim Brotherhood?
We spoke about that, didn't we, last time?
We had them on not them on the show. I mean, we know that Donald Trump has made an executive decision to prescribe them as a terrorist organization, and why Keir Starmer's not done that yet is absolutely beyond me, David.
Well, because he's a coward and he's a pussy. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's worse than that.
Complete.
Don't get me started.
Complete and utter contempt for the geezer. No, very briefly, the Muslim Brotherhood was founded in 1928 in Egypt. And by the way, the Muslim Brotherhood is now prescribed in Egypt. And Muslim Brotherhood is prescribed in most Middle Eastern countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and what have we. So it is they are the, excuse my French, the shit stirrers. They are the people that inspire Hamas, ISIS, Hezbollah, Al Qaeda. They give their intellectual legitimacy, and they should be banned. I'm sorry, it should be a prescribed organisation. The UAE have been banging on about this for years. That we should get tough. Apparently, the number 1 centre of Islamic terrorism is London.
Wow. Yeah.
That's actually quite frightening.
It is frightening. It really is shocking. I mean, it's no surprise under Sadiq Khan, obviously, you've got him running things in London, and we all know what he's like. And I think, it's indicative really of what's going on with knife crime.
Let me choose my words carefully yet again. Let me choose my words very carefully yet again.
Just say it as it is.
I've yet to find a leading Muslim mainstream politician who is not one degree of separation from an Islamic extremist.
Yeah, very interesting, David. And I think that tells you really
so concerning. doing? You know,
Well-
why are we not uprising?
Well, this is why I believe we need people like us in Parliament, not the ones that we've currently got. So we need to drain the swamp, get rid of that lot, and have people in there who love their country, who believe in Christian values and principles, and want to, you know, make Britain great again, you know, because we've lost our way. And I always say, if you lose your voice, you lose your identity. And you know, who are we? Who are we as people? You know, and I think we left the European Union because we didn't want to be controlled by international powers. But yet we've still allowed ourselves to be controlled by the WEF, by the WHO, by the UN, all these international bodies that interfere in our domestic politics. And I sound like a broken record, but it really gets to me. And when people shout at me, say, what are we going to do? You know, we can explain what's going on. We need people to stand. We need candidates for Advance UK. We need people in the future that are going to stand up for a party that's going to reverse this change. Now, you might not be with Advance UK. It might be a different party. That's fine. That's cool. That's a democracy. But for us, it's Advance UK. And you'll have a different opinion on that. But I think it's important that we all get together. When it comes to these issues, there should be a cross-party consensus that we all agree on the same thing. Shut the borders, deport, deport, deport. Stop allowing international bodies to interfere with our country. Be self-sufficient. Use our own gas and coal and energy supplies that we already have in this country. Don't become reliant on other countries. Be the great industrial Britain that we once were. And we can be. But there has to be a political will for that to happen.
Oh, no. Well, if I could sum up my relationship with advance versus reform, ideologically, I'm more advanced oriented, ideologically, but at a practical, real politic level, I'm reform leaning, because I think we have 4 years to save this country. If Nigel Farage lets us down, should he get a reasonable working majority in 2028 or whatever year the next general election is, I think it will be time for me to pack my bags and go home, go somewhere else in the world.
Home is with us.
Yeah,
home is with us. Come home.
Come and live off grid with us. You'll be all right, David. I mean, look, my opinion, of course, slightly different to yours, David, but we're still good friends. I mean, I think Farage is going to blow up. I think he's not fit to govern. I think what you'll find is, as a political chameleon, yes, he may get into power. There's always that possibility, because that's democracy for you. But I do think that whilst he's good at campaigning, he's good at winning, certain elections like Brexit. He got that done. When it comes to governing, it's a completely different kettle of fish, and he has surrounded himself with people who are not capable, who have bought their way into the party, and policy is top down. It's not grassroots, and I think it would be a disaster for the country. But that's my personal political pitch there. I'll mention that as well. Our time's almost up, Rogue, because it's nearly past. But do you want to go a bit longer and get some comments in? But we do want to mention the poll as well, though, talking about Keir Starmer. Should we mention that now?
We should, but again, I just want to obviously hone in on the fact that this is actually happening all over, and I need to know what's going on. Can you see, have you found any stories to say what's going on in Germany?
No, I can't. I don't, but let me go very briefly check my Twitter feed.
Yeah, I'm just going to try and get in the comments, because I want to see what is going on. Let's have a look. So somebody's put, where are you going to deport to? Easy to say, hard to do, almost impossible unless another country will accept the deported. England is for sale.
Yeah, I joined Advance UK well before 30k, and I volunteered to help. Thank you so much, Mark. Farage always lets us down.
Oh, Mark, that's brilliant that he's joined.
Yeah.
Can you go up? Because those who know...
1 second, we'll go into your comments, folks. But all different comments coming here.
All right, okay. Very briefly, what I do, look at the comments. Breaking Hammer supporters are attacking the Hanukkah concert in Amsterdam in the Netherlands.
Right, there it is. Yeah, David. Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to get that. Obviously, is going to be on our feeds later. So we'll keep an eye on that story for you as it breaks. Keep an eye on our social media as well. So we'll be posting it on there. And we might even do something on our YouTube channel here. By the way, if you're watching us on Twitch, welcome, because we've just launched Twitch. I don't even know what it is, right? And I've got a bloody clue. You're watching us on X as well. Please, if you're watching us on X, because I know many of you do, on @Lansingers and @RW Taylors, would you just go across to the link to our YouTube page and subscribe to the channel? Watch us on here, because it really helps to support what we're doing. And plus as well, if you want to know more on what's happening, go to Richie and Rogue richieandrogue.com, and you can find more information about what we're doing, what we're up to there, and when the shows are live. And if you subscribe, if you hit the little bell on the top side of your screen, notify me when we are live. You'll be notified, because we do Wednesdays 8 p.m, Sundays 8 p.m, but we can also pop in and do impromptu ones as well, don't we?
You notice that you're doing all the talking tonight, and I'll tell you why.
Have
It's
you noticed?
because my hands are going blue and I'm shivering and I'm so cold.
Yeah,
my brain is just...
So there is a donate button on the website. We need some heat in. So if you can donate on the website, that would be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, we got news coming in, David, of all this stuff that's breaking right now. And as you've said, it's probably been spurred on and people are being encouraged to do this. Is it coordinated, or are they being encouraged to do it by what they're seeing elsewhere, like in what's happening in Bondi Beach in Australia?
Sure. My money's on being inspired by what happened on Bondi Beach. Excuse me, probably. Some people have said that the Hanukkah stuff I'm trying to be balanced here. Wasn't really a riot. It was a demonstration against it. Can't see anything on Germany at the moment. But you can just bloody well see that it really is any excuse to get out of the streets and cause mayhem. Hang on a second. 5 arrested in Germany over plot to massacre people at a Christmas market. 3 Moroccans.
Oh my gosh, it's the Christmas markets they're attacking as well. So it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, 3 Americans in Syria killed by Muslims. 10 Australia, 5 Muslims arrested. Countless skills.
It's definitely coordinated. This is not a copycat. This is not a copycat, technique.
Yeah.
It is literally coordinated.
Yeah.
Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all need to be on high alert, but the government does nothing. Look, if you can see what's happening, it's like a domino effect. We're having this domino effect, and yet our government. Do you know what Keir Starmer said? Right, I'll tell you what Keir Starmer said. The attack is sickening. That's it.
That's all you got to say. Yeah.
The attack is sickening. Like, cheers, Keir. I mean, come on. Shabana Mahmood has said, I'm appalled by the anti-Semitic terror attack in Australia and horrified it happened at a Chanukah celebration. My thoughts are with the victims and family on Australia, and we will always protect our Jewish community. Well, let me tell you, I don't believe a word she says. And that's this is where it's gotten to. We do not believe a word you say. Shabana, Keir, Lammy, oh my gosh, the rest of them, Rachel Thieves, all of you. We don't believe a word.
No, we don't. Speaking about the cabinet, we put a poll out on our community here on YouTube. We have a community, Dave, of a lot of our friends are on. If you're not on there, please go on there, join it as well. It's free, by the way. And we did a poll earlier this week on this here. Just have a quick look.
Who is the most hated? Well, as you can see, Keir Starmer won hands down. So we had Angela Rayner, David Lammy and Keir Starmer. Yeah. David Lammy was at 3%, Angela Rayner was at 2%, which really frustrates me because she is literally the parliamentary Bianca.
She is. And David Lammy looks like Diane Abbott's brother. Or twin, but I thought Lammy would have got a few more votes than that. But obviously, people are really angry in the country. The quicker we get a general election going, David, the better. Get rid of this man. But it's going to take a long time to fix the country, Dave.
I think 10 years at least. 10 years at least.
So whoever gets in next, are you saying that they are going to have 10-year turnaround to have to fix it?
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Well,
so we've got another 4 years with Labour. I mean, what more damage are they actually going to instill, for the next party that's going to come in? They are going to do what they can. But Keir's determined to do a decade.
Yeah.
Absolutely absolutely no chance.
Someone suggested we should be on GB News. I don't think they'll have us on GB News, to be quite honest. But we're open to offers. Yeah, if you contact us, yes, and we'll consider it. Obviously, we come at a very high price.
Actually, to be fair, in GB News, they've probably got heaters.
Yeah, they've probably got heaters on GB News.
It won't be so cold and my brain won't freeze it.
Well, it'd be a bit more lively if we were on there, for sure, wouldn't it?
I'm not quite banned from GB News at the moment, but
well done.
We'd never ban you, David. We'd never ban you. We love having you on.
You're amazing. You're my favourite.
We really do.
So Richie and Rogue, they have planned ahead 2060 when the Muslim population will exceed all others. Yep, we know. And it's part of the agenda. Everybody knows about the 2030 agenda. For a long time, it was deemed as a conspiracy theory. Everybody thought that we were the crazy ones, but it's there. It's absolutely there. You know, it's happening. It's all coming into fruition, you know, but some people are still really slow and behind, and they're just like, oh, everybody's welcome here. Let me tell you this analogy. We have the red squirrels with their placards up saying, everybody's welcome here.
It's not Dave's fault, but you are done it. Yeah, brilliant.
what I mean?
Absolutely
I
fantastic.
think it says grey squirrels are welcome here.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, I didn't know I was going to show this on the show tonight, David. I showed Rogue earlier before we came into the studio. In the news cycle I mentioned moves very fast, and people forget what governments have done to us. And I was looking at some old articles, and this one here was in the I think it was the Telegraph here. This was Boris Johnson when he was the Prime Minister. And look at the title in this headline: Christmas cancelled for millions. People forget so quickly what governments and the Conservatives, of course, and they were supported by Labour, what they have done to us as people, locking us down, taking away our civil liberties, bringing now digital ID and tracking and tracing our every movement through surveillance. And they tried to cancel our bloody Christmas, for goodness sake. I mean, it's not theirs to cancel.
We did.
They did, yeah.
You know,
exactly. Now, as you've seen, you've got flu, right? They are now trying to scaremonger everybody with this flu epidemic. I call it the fear flu, right? They're literally trying to, again, induce fear to say that everybody, especially children, and what they're trying to do is shame parents to get their children vaccinated. I can't stand that. I understand that children get poorly, but, you know, children are so much more resilient. You know, they bounce back very, very quickly, and their immune system is there to help them. Now, as we as parents are supposed to give our children superfoods, because, you know, the berries, the pumpkin seeds, the sunflower seeds, you know, everything to help them, you know, sort of nurture their immune system and for them to be propelled. So you have, like I said, you know, ginger, lemon, hot, you know, sort of water with it and honey. It's just like everything is there to aid us and help us. But they are insisting, and I actually scrolled through, and literally, you've probably seen it too, on every scroll, there are children in comas. You know, I wish I'd listened to the flu, you know, sort of warning, you know, and that's a horrendous thing to see. But people are laughing, right? And I have to say, I don't agree with that. I understand why they're doing it. The Daily Mirror put up a father saying, you know, he'd wished he'd listened. His daughter, you know, is in a coma. She's intubated. And quite frankly, people are laughing because they are sick of the narrative. They are sick of what people are trying to, you know, again, induce this fear. But, you know, that is a genuine picture of a girl. And we're not saying it's necessarily from the flu, but it's a genuine picture of a girl. And I don't think laughing is appropriate, you know, but this fear mongering, I feel like they're trying to cancel our Christmas again.
Well, they did this, didn't they? If you remember, during lockdown as well, you got lockdown to end next week, but severe tiers on the way it's been done. And if you can't see it here, but if you look carefully on the red print there, if you remember, every single newspaper, every single day, we're reporting how many people have died, how many people. And actually, they weren't dying from COVID, they were dying with COVID, and they lied to us, and they were scaring people. I mean, when it first happened, we all went, okay, we're locked down, but then we saw through the lies and what they were trying to do. And I think, as Rogue has mentioned, because we've been pre-programmed now because of what happened during COVID and lockdowns, now this new super flu is coming out. They're like, do you know what? We can do the same again. They believed us last time. They believe this time. Well, I think a lot more people are awake this time, Dave, aren't they?
They are indeed. You know, when I was serially lied to for 4 years during the COVID pandemic, you know, if the government says day, I say night. If the government says black, I say white. I don't believe a damn word what they say, particularly on matters of health. Funnily enough, I've got to retrieve it, but someone published a paper on the flu vaccine, and just to give you a bit of context, 3% of people who were in the COVID vaccine trials died, versus 1% who died of COVID. So you're 3 times more likely to die with the vaccine than you are, getting COVID. But anyway, exactly the same thing they found with the flu vaccine, that people were far more iller and for longer, and there were far more people who were ill after they'd taken the flu vaccine. You know, imagine if we have a real genuine pandemic. You know, in 1348, the Black Plague arrived in Britain, and it wiped out between 40 and 50% of the population. Imagine if we have a real. We
wouldn't believe them.
Yeah, you know, would we believe the government? You know, would we believe the government? You know, when you know, what's the phrase about fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know, you know, when you don't give information honestly. Now, I can understand the overreaction for the first 6 months of the pandemic. But when the data came in, it wasn't as bad as they were making it out to be. And of course, Sweden had very little when it came to lockdowns, and their excess deaths far exceeded. The world's excess deaths far exceeded those of Sweden, who didn't really lock down throughout the time of the pandemic. You know, I just hate being lied to on a big scale by the government.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave.
Let me just say one thing about that. So I teach year 4 medical students. So I actually go into a hospital and I teach about certain illnesses which are quite rare. And I really thoroughly love that job. Now, one of my consultants came over to me and he just took me aside and he said to me, Rogue, do not take the vaccine. And I stared at him and he said, do not do it. He said, it will kill you. And I kept on looking at him going, okay, I wasn't going to have it, but why are you saying that? And he said, look, so in our immune system, we have something called IgEs, IgGs, IgAs, and they are all part of like the T cells, and they are literally part of the immunity that formulates to protect us from certain things coming in, and they work with the blood, the white blood cells.
White blood cells, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think lymphocytes, are they called lymphocytes or something like that?
Yeah. So then what happened is the vaccine obviously had the spike protein, and then it attached itself, and it had metals and it had other, sort of ingredients within it. And it's basically attached itself to the body and attacked the body. So it's reversing. So it's almost like HIV. It is almost like that, okay, in a jab. And people would just basically, sort of saying, oh, I need to protect my family. I need to protect so-and-so. I want to go traveling, so I'm going to have it. And, actually, Steve-O's just said that, rest in peace, Philip. His brother had the third shot and then within 6 months was dead because he got cancer. And, these jabs, I feel like even with the flu jabs, they're wanting to see who is going to comply. They're watching and waiting who's going to comply and who is going to be the tearaways, the rebellious.
Absolutely. And I think that, as you said, it's like a trial run, isn't it? They did it and they're practicing in schools now how to get ready for lockdowns and things like this. If an attack comes, it's all pre-programmed and pre-scripted, and people are, naive enough to believe. I mean, I'm like you, David. If the government say black, I say it's white. I just do not believe. When a government says we're doing this for your safety, it's not.
Absolutely.
I mean, and it's frightening. So listen, folks, our time is almost up, David.
But first thing, I want to take a drink.
I'm going to come to that. I'm going to come to that. So we just want to say thank you to everyone, especially to you, Dave, for coming on again.
Especially when you're feeling poorly.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure to come on, and I've got a nice little bottle of port to enjoy, and I'll be thinking.
I got a bottle of sparkling water, so that's how much she cares for me. Anyway, I'm joking. So yeah, some of our viewers have sent in some photos. And by the way, if you're watching the show and you want to send in some photos of where you're watching from on your TV or on your laptop, or you can't do it on your phone, send them to us and we'll post them on here. So one of our friends who's watching, Andrew. There he is, look. He's got a glass of...
He's got a Baileys.
He's got a Baileys. He's watching us, look, there with a bottle of Baileys.
And he's got the cops on the side. And
That's
look,
wonderful.
Dave, you're in the background. Can you see yourself?
You are there. You're on the show. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And we just want because time's nearly gone, and we want to say thank you to all our subscribers. Just quickly, a reminder as well of our tour. 14th of February, we're going to be in Wales live show with Richie and Rogue. Tickets will be available on Eventbrite very soon. Also to mention our good friend Mark and his wonderful wife Ruth, who hosted us this weekend. Thank you so much. And to the fellowship there in Worcester we attended to Dave and his wife. Thank you for your warmth as well. And to all those that were there, thank you ever so much. I also want to mention, Mark, thank you for this book. It's called The Battles of Wales. So I'm going to read that. My nighttime reading. It's about all the crazy Welsh nationalists and everything else.
Morgan,
and if I may,
I think Morgan was your greatest hero, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he was indeed. And if I may mention my own little plug here, I'll be on with Dan Wootton on Wednesday night. So please, at 5 p.m. there with Dan Wootton, and soon to be on with Mike Graham on his new show as well. So please tune in for that. But more importantly, thank you to every single one of you, because without you, we wouldn't have a show. Thank you so much for tuning in. But we do want to finish on a positive note, Rogue, don't we? A story.
Yeah, what's the story?
What's the story?
From Jack and Ori.
You don't know the story. I thought we went through the show tonight, and I told you what we were going to...
I'm cold.
She is cold. It is cold in the studio. Don't forget to visit our website as well. I just want to play you this, and we're going to come back and say our goodbyes. So don't go just yet. Just want to listen to this story.
Oh, yeah.
So this story, I got to tell you, I don't cry often, do I, Rogue?
No.
This story really,
He's a bit of a pussy as well.
really pulled on my heartstrings, and I want you to listen to this because it's so powerful. And then we're going to come back and say a few words before we go.
We've raised you $1.77 million.
Just seeing if I could have help scanning this. Thank you. What was your name?
Ed.
I'm Sam.
Okay.
I actually had someone nominate you from this store and said you're very hardworking.
Well, I try to be.
May I ask how old you are?
I'm 88.
And still working?
Yes, I have to.
Why do you have to keep working?
Retired from General Motors in '99. 2012, I went bankrupt, and they took my pension away from me.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a wife?
She passed away 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
She was sick when I lost my pension. I was in the Army back in 66.
So you're a veteran too?
Yes. The thing that hurt me the most was my wife was real sick. When they took the pension, they also took the health care coverage.
Yeah.
And all but $10,000 of my life insurance.
Oh my gosh.
So I sold the house, sold the property I had, and we made it through.
And you're working here how many days a week?
I work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day.
What's your dream?
To live somewhat the life I was hoping for.
I'd like to share your story and try and, get people to help you retire.
Well, thank you.
You're amazing. I want to give you $400 here as a tip. Of course.
I don't know what to say. It goes a long way to help me.
Ed, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. What did you do with that money I gave you?
I still have it in my pocket. I wasn't sure this was a legitimate situation.
There was a few things you didn't tell me when you first met me about the amount of debt you're in.
Approximately $225,000 money I went to take care of my wife.
And you miss her?
Oh,
This may be overwhelming, but we do have a little surprise for you. So if you would like to come with me, there's a lot of support for you here, man. I want to reveal that this is one of the largest individual fundraisers in GoFundMe history. If you want, you will be able to retire because we've raised you $1.77 million.
something that dreams are made out of, trust me. I cannot express in any words how thankful I am to all the people.
And if you could send one message to your wife.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate everything.
There we go.
There is some good people left
yeah.
in the world, and we have to remember that, don't we? We have to remember that, you know, we can pull together.
Sorry,
to help
I'm
each other.
gone now. I'm just emotional. I am again because I'm just thinking of that guy who lost his wife, and he couldn't pay the bills. He lost everything, and just the generosity of a few people coming together just to change his life. We need more love in the world for sure, Dave, don't we?
We do, don't we? And might I also say, the company that employed an 88-year-old man in a full-time job needs to be applauded as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They gave him a chance, or be starving or be out in the streets or something like that, I just can't believe. I think in this country there are very strict rules about pensions and companies, whereby if a company goes bankrupt, your pension is safe, But unbelievable! It's so moving that a guy had to go back to full-time work, and now doesn't have to because of the generosity of other people. It really is very moving, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we just want to take time, for you as well, because you've just gone through, a year anniversary, and we just want to honor you and just say that, we love you and that we are completely here for you too. And I know that you've had a year to grieve, you've had a year to kind of figure out, sort of what's happened, and it's always a shock. And I had also a fiance that died, in my arms, and I was 23. Sure. And it's horrific, and it's something you never ever get over. You will always have love for that person. And
it's not only that. I've seen it beyond that. A human being has died who didn't deserve to die, and I always look at it from that angle as well. Someone that is a loved one,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're here for you and we love you. And if there is anything that we can do for you to rally around you and support you, please let us know.
Yeah.
Your box went a long way.
I'm so pleased.
And
so pleased. And you're going to have a date with me.
Yeah, you are. And we'd like
on Valentine's Day.
We'd like to say as well to all of you watching. We'd like to say to all of you watching as well, the same goes for all of you, actually. We're here for you. We're not just, people on your screen. We're people who care, genuinely care. There will be a contact section on our website, richieandrogue.com, where you can contact us directly. And by the way, we don't have an administrative team that take care of all those correspondence. Myself and Rogue will do that. And if you want to get in touch with us, and if we can be of any support and help, or vice versa, then please get in touch with us, because we want to make this more than just a weekly show. We want to make it where we get to meet you, we get to know who you are, because as Rogue said earlier, you're not just friends.
You're our family.
You're family as well. So thank you for tuning in to another Sunday night. Sunday night. We're back Wednesday night with the wonderful Father Calvin Robson for our Christmas special. So get your Christmas jumpers ready.
And your Christmas hats, and your eggnogs, and your Baileys.
And your mulled wine.
And
yes.
your mulled wine.
And we're going to see what we can do in the studio. And we'll hopefully catch you then. And I think that might be our last show of the year, actually, Rogue. Next week, I think it is,
Do you know what? I might pop on Christmas Day just to say
until the new year, because we're doing lots in the new year and lots of stuff happening, isn't it? We're having the rebrand as well. So there's a lot of things. We've done a little bit of it now, as you know. It's now called the Richie and Rogue Show because of your votes. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to do a lot more as well. And more guests coming on as well. We've got people from Canada, America, Australia, all around the world. But our favourite guest is always Dave Atherton, of course.
And he's our regular.
No, you can flatter me any time of the day.
Well, thank you guys for your comments. We're just going to see the comments coming in now just to say thank you for catching up on the show. So we're just going to read it. As we do, we like to mention some of you. Let's have a look.
Menopausal wife in tears now. Oh.
Thanks, guys. Catch you all on the next one. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for Darren Graham. Where do you want to go? I've seen now a menopausal wife.
Oh,
yeah, those about the guy that was crying. I've done those ones. I'll put them on. Let's have a look. Take care.
Pleasure. Take care. And you, Dave. Absolutely. Advocate and lemonade. Over and out. It's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Good night.
Good night.
Let's have a look.
Bless you. Bye, guys. Look, thank you again for jumping on. Let's pray.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much. Midnight Mass. Yeah, Midnight Mass is a special occasion. Get well soon, Dave. You got some love coming in here from some of our
get well.
Try
God bless. Martin. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you so much, everybody. Listen, big love.
Yeah, we love you all, and we'll catch you on.
Bye, Mark, and thank you again.
When are we live again? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
What day is it?
It's Sunday today.
Oh, is it Sunday? Are you sure?
Oh, get out of here.
Bye.
Bye.